Farmers are navigating market volatility as spring planting progresses. Mixed weather patterns and shifting input prices are just a few factors that can take a toll on producers' mental health this season. Brooks York with AgriSompo joins us now in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, so we really appreciate your time this morning, Brooks. Now, mental health is an attribute of crop insurance that probably rarely gets discussed. So can you talk about the importance of focusing on this topic, especially right now?
So we live in a world of numbers, and when we come to work, we talk about, guarantees, thresholds, prices, forecasts, things like that. And sometimes mental health gets shoved over to the side, but I think that most can agree, if you've seen a loved one, a neighbor affected by, an uncontrollable event like weather or prices when it comes to agriculture, and you see how this attribute of crop insurance can really step in and bring some peace of mind to a tough situation. And in some cases, maybe even attributed to helping save lives, you start to understand that, the mental health attribute of crop insurance is the most important at that point in time. So we're really focusing on it, not just this month, but every day.
Of course. And I mean, it feels like constantly, especially recently, we are talking about all the different challenges that our farmers are facing. And of course, mental health is mixed into this. This is affecting them personally. These are their personal operations. And you talk about insurance being able to give them that peace of mind. I'm sure that you've seen the benefits of crop insurance affecting farmers' mental health and their situation. However, I know also these benefits can affect others more than just the farmers.
I think if anybody's had this situation, it weighs on the family members. An individual that is struggling financially, you look back and you think, well, I'm not only letting down, my family, it's generations before that have built the farm in some cases. And if you want to dig deeper, and this is why it's so important to really understand crop insurance. One thing I would encourage farm spouses to do, even kids of certain ages in the farm, is to get a 30,000-foot view, a macro view of what that policy does, because sometimes it's just a conversation about having that safety net in challenging times that can make the difference. And beyond, the farm family, I'm going to think about the community. And so in a lot of places in the Midwest, the number one driver in the gross domestic product of those counties is agriculture. So, when you think about downtown rural America, you think about small town high schools, the contribution, these farmers don't keep a lot of the dollars that their crops generate. It goes into the economy. So, if you're a small shop operator, whether it's a shoe store downtown, a grocery store, all these dollars funnel back in. So to have that peace of mind that the crop in the field is going to produce dollars for your family, if you're not directly involved in agriculture, it plays a much bigger role on overall mental health than we have any idea.
It definitely all ties together. And it seems like within the last couple of years, we're really talking about mental health, especially when it comes to our farm communities, maybe conversations that wouldn't have been had 5 or 10 years ago. And of course, important to have a month to, have Mental Health Awareness Month. So it sounds like we're hearing more about crop insurance and mental health from AgriSompo in the coming weeks. So if someone wanted to support this effort, are there organizations that stand out to you?
There are. Number one, support crop insurance. So as we're on the cusp of another farm bill, hopefully here, just a word to your congressmen and congresswomen that, hey, we stand behind crop insurance because we know its value, its holistic value on the entire community. Sompo itself supports organizations like Rural Minds, AgriSafe, that really step up and they give these communities the tools and resources they need to deal with things that might not be, front and foremost in a lot of cases, like mental health. So definitely look into those organizations as well.
Yeah, great advice there. And Brooks, usually we have you on here to talk numbers when it comes to crop insurance, but this is really an important conversation to be had. So we really appreciate you joining us here this morning. Brooks York with AgriSompo.